Boom, we are live. What's up, guys? Welcome. Well, it's going to be the first of many streams. I'm trying this for a month, like I said. Pretty much what I'm going to be doing is we're going to be chopping it up here on the daily. Oh, no, it looks like Kick's not. I just got a notification. I'm trying to stream on multiple platforms, and it looks like one's not taking. Again. Okay, so regardless, it's all good. What's up? Welcome to the show. Today, we are going to be discussing EV tax credits, where the money's going, just kind of like an overview of the company and everything. And then we're going to be talking about the ZR1, the C8, the brand new 2024 ZR1. That car is going to be cool. Got like a little bit of information and camera. And we're going to be discussing that, but it's kind of today's episode is kind of like a good news, bad news. So I'm going to end off on the good news. So let's not really take a bad, but I think it's just good for me to like daily. What I do is I pay, I don't know, the subscription. I think it's like anywhere from like $300 to $800 for a subscription to Auto News. It's a really good, I don't want to call them non-biased, but I mean, it's a really good source of information which I've gotten over the years. When I dropped a video of the 2024 Camaro being ixnayed, this is where I got it from. So I've had a subscription from them for quite a while. So if you guys want to pay for your own subscription, it's heads up, minimum. The cost of entry is like $300 a year. I think packages go all the way up like $700, or you can just hang with me every day and I'll run you through it. So I'm just going to touch over pretty much the highlights of what I found kind of to be interesting. So the EV tax credits, where they're the money's going. Sorry, my earpiece is messing up here. Where the money is going, kind of the use or expenditure, what's going on. A lot of people don't even know that they got a bailout. I found another YouTuber, and that usually helps my credibility here when instead of people looking at me like I'm the bearer of bad news. It's just, it is what it is. And I kind of want to shed some light on it so that way people have an informed decision when they hear anything, any discussions coming up, they know exactly what they're talking about. So pretty much what I'm going to do is it was Scotty Kilmer. He's got a huge channel. I'm going to add this in here. We're just going to watch just a little bit. It'll just give this a little bit of context. And let me add this in here. Come right back.
Well, it looks like GM's been up to some shenanigans. They say, oh, yeah, American company, bail us out, bail us out. They get bailout money. And what do? They move their jobs to Mexico. Listen to this. GM's Factory Zero Detroit Hammertrack plant employs 2,162 employees. But GM's Silo plant in Mexico is 6,500 workers. And its Ramos Arizpe plant in Mexico is 5,600 employees. GM has pledged to build only EVs at Ramos beginning this year, but where the company's problem-ridden EV compact SUVs are manufactured. Okay, so they're moving their production to Mexico and they're having problems with them. Isn't that a shocker? They take the bailout money from the government and then they move their jobs down to Mexico. And then they have quality problems. Oh, who couldn't foresee that? Oh, let's go to Mexico.
I don't know about that, Scotty. Yeah, he's a big Toyota fan. So I get it. We all got our own preference. We all got our own brand, which we dig. But the bailout, for those of you that don't know, if my camera will focus here, those of you that don't know, I guess they had a big problem with a big recall or whatnot. And I did find it. I cannot find anything really going into detail, but I did just find just this morning. It is a bill, and I'll add it to here. You can find it yourself at congress.gov, and it's HR 7016, and this is the bailout act of 2022. The summary, if you just go back to it, pretty much They had a lawsuit against the government, and the government is paying them back in lump sums money. And basically, what they're doing with the money now is going to be what I'm talking about today. So I was giving you a little context, building up to that, and then I just want to talk about these tax EV credits and how I think that, man, they are just free shit for everybody. It seems to be. Pigpen, what's up, dude? One company, Accidental Petroleum, sells carbon credits. Not sure about EV, but for the other corporations like AT&T, so the oil companies are playing sides. Yeah, they're pitting. Well, they're doing the best they can to play at devil's advocate. He says these corporations get bailed out, then their CEO and other top exec take home huge, massive bonuses. Yes, dude. I absolutely agree with that 100%. Like I was talking with another subscriber, Mary Berry gets paid like the last, I think 2023 or 2022, it was like $29 million. Tell me a job that deserves $30 million. And I'm assuming that's what is being reported. Could be others. It is disgusting, man. It is disgusting. So I did find the bailout. I will dig into it. I'm going to, if I need to revisit it in the past or if it comes up again, I will shine some more light on it for you guys. But it seems to be that these auto manufacturers, and it's not just GM, it's all of them. The government, from January 1 of 2024, we've already spent $580 million in tax, just free money for buying EVs. The tax rebates, and it's now expanded to the dealers. So now the consumer gets it, and so it says, and I'll just read it for the people that are, they keep this on in the background and they just want to listen. You don't have time to sit here and watch me or whatever. That's fine. I'm going to read the articles entirely just to keep everybody in the loop. So it says Washington, the U.S. government has reimbursed auto dealers for more than $580 million in advance point of sale consumer electric vehicle tax credit payments since January 1. The Treasury said on Friday. Prior to 2024, U.S. auto buyers could only take advantage of the $7,500 new electric vehicle tax credit. That's key. Or the $4,000 used EV tax credit when they filed tax returns for the following year. Okay, so they got you on. They gave you a softer landing on the new vehicle purchase, and they also gave you a pretty decent hit off of and it was really just off of used, but it was only when you filed your taxes at the end of the year. The Internal Revenue Service, IRS, has received approximately 100,000 time of scale reports this year and paid more than $580 million in advance payments to dealers since January 1. Starting January 1, consumers can transfer the credits to a car dealer at the time of sale, effectively lowering the purchase price. That's a big deal. I mean, that's huge. I just don't know where the free shit's going to end. So here's my thing is now you're getting lower APR on your credit on your loan. When the snowball effect or the domino effect of everything that goes into purchasing a car and throughout the maturity of the loan of the vehicle, you're just able to slice off $7,500 right off the top. So they're getting scammy with this. They're getting, well, not scammy, but they're getting tricky with it. Huge. We'll keep going. Treasury spokesman Harris Talwar. I'm not good with names. I'm just saying that. Demand is high 4 months into the implementation for this new provision. The Treasury issued guidelines on December aimed at weaning the U.S. EV supply chain away from China. The number of EV models qualified for U.S. EV tax credits fell on January 1 to 19 from 43, with some Tesla Model 3s, Chevrolet Silverado EV, Ford Mustang Mach-EV, Ford E-Transit vehicles among those losing the credits. Since then, have regained eligibility, including Volkswagen, Nissan Leaf, GM Chevy Blazer, and Cadillac Lyriq. It goes on to say consumers must attest they meet income limits to qualify for the tax credit at time of purchase, or they will need to repay the government when filing their taxes. For new vehicles, the adjusted gross income is $300,000 for married couples or $150,000 for individuals. So I'm assuming that they're trying to, virtue signal or trying to say that they're excluding the 1% or the elites. You know what I mean? So, I don't know how this is going to play out for them. The August 2022 Inflation Reduction Act law reformed the EV tax credit, requiring vehicles to be assembled in North America. That's good. And qualify for any tax credits, eliminating nearly 70% of eligible models. It also created a used EV tax credit, lifted 200,000 manufacturer caps on credits, imposed income and vehicle price restrictions, and extended credits to leased vehicles. Okay, so, but they wrapped that up in a little bow, didn't they? So basically, what this is coming down to is now it's going to be a free-for-all. Now they're not getting the reaction which they thought they would. They thought that they was going to be a lot more popular. Everybody was going to be so excited to jump on the bandwagon and drive away in your brand new EV, your little electric vehicle. But looks like they're getting a little pushback, and they're not turning out to be half as popular as what they thought they are. So now they're really opening up the floodgates. Yeah, free shit for everybody. And I don't know. I still don't think it's enough. I don't think it's enough. I mean, the simple fact of there's a point in any kind of platform or architecture when it is just that much better. It's an actual progression or evolution in whatever that may be, whether it be, computers or cars. But yes, I don't think electric vehicles is going to be taking a step back, and I just don't see people. Like I said, I started off by saying they're actually, it'd be an okay commuter car, A to B, but I mean, anymore from everything, we just caught GM taking all of our, information of how you drive, your behavioral patterns from day to day, and selling them to insurance companies and all that. I don't trust them, man. I don't trust them. And I'm not paying someone an absorbent amount of money because, up until recent times, a car was the second biggest investment that a person could make in their life. So it's not like these things are small money. You know what I mean? It's not like it's a consumable or anything. Oh, my mic got turned over there, but it's not like it's a consumable or anything that you would keep in your household. This is a big deal. These are big ticket items, and I'm not paying someone to make my life more complicated or try to leverage a little bit more money off my information. That's how banks, whenever you get a debit card, these people, they're paying big money, especially like me and my YouTube channel. You get hit up all the time. Email lists, email lists. There's a bunch of advertisers paying big money for email lists. I mean, when somebody creates a YouTube channel, boom, they got a website. They kind of got like some little trinkets or whatever for sale. And they want your email information. That's exactly what's going on, because there's big money in just having that kind of reach. Because these advertisers, they're willing to pay anything to get reach to the consumers. And yeah, another example of GM selling off your information. So they did say, I will say that let me add it back in here. GM did come back and say they released on their GM Authority today, 90% of the EV buyers choosing the tax credit take it directed to the dealer. And it's kind of, I mean, you're if you're going to do it, it's the smart way to do it is just give it to the dealer, because that amplified effect is going to be rolled through your, like I said, the maturity of your loan. I don't know. It goes by state to state as far as like your registration renewal. And yeah, just the simple fact of your APR and your interest of your loan, you're going to be paying less because they charge you every 30 days in a 30-day, day to day, the interest rates off of the remaining principal. And if you can knock off $7,500 from day one, you're going to be, that $7,500 probably turn into $10,000, $11,000 by the end of it. So can't say I would blame them. Like I said, this GM Authority, here's the thumbnail or whatever for that. So if you want to look it up, that information is free. You can go read that on your own. But I thought it would be it's just something to keep up on. Okay, so those of you that don't know my Saturday night stream, I kind of touched base on this, and I want to talk about it. This is the EPA's push to eliminate forever chemicals, bring scrutiny to the EV components. And for those of you that were in the stream, heard me talk about it, this might be a little bit redundant for you, but we'll just read it anyways. It goes on to saying U.S. regulators are moving to protect the public from harmful forever chemicals linked to higher rates of cancer, pushing industries to eliminate their use and keep them out of waterways and food sources. Okay, so I'm assuming what they're talking about is cars crossing waterways, coming any bodies of water, any kind of direct contact. Forever chemicals are like plastic. That's how the polymers of plastic is basically what I've come down to think of it as. In your seatbelt, dude, pretty much the entire car. I mean, so this is, I'm going to get to it here in just a little bit, but we'll read on. It says the auto industry, however, still relies on some of the chemicals for crucial components and materials. You think? Including those used in electric vehicles, more economically friendly alternatives often do not yet exist and are far away from commercialization, further and complicating the industry's transition away from fossil fuels. So here's what is up. I don't know if you heard that notification or not. If you did, I'm sorry. Basically, what I'm getting from this is we're kind of creating a market. We're kind of, this is like the beginning phases of expanding an area to pretty much create new teams, new everything, to venture into new areas to try to make it more eco-friendly. I mean, I don't know how we're going to do this, but it seems like it's a lot of fluff. It's a lot of fluff. We've had everything figured out, and it seems like we're trying to reinvent the wheel here. And yeah, I think it's going to be a big money grab. It's going to be a big money scheme, and just ways to funnel more money I don't know how to say it, but it's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of resources that are going to be wasted on this junk. So it's one more challenge in an already challenging scenario, said Alex Bosenberg, Vice President of Regulatory Affairs at the MEMMA. The Vehicle Suppliers Association, which represents more than 1,000 companies in the automotive supply chain. Regulators are trying to reduce the amount of forever chemicals which do not easily break down in the human body or in the environment. In U.S. waterways, and to reduce the amount of public exposed. Just this week, the EPA announced its first ever drinking water standard to protect people against the chemicals and offered a $1 billion to the states for public water system testing, and the agency's first major move to curb the cancer-causing chemicals. All right, so we are waiting until now to do this, I guess. Have we not been? I'm pretty sure that we've been trying to do this for the past, what? Oh, I don't know, 30, 40. Man, well, I grew up in the 90s, and it was the discussion all the way up in there. So it could have been before. I don't know. If anybody in the chat knows, put it down below. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it going. It says pervasive problem. It's a headline. You have two of the chemicals. I'm not really good at. I'll try it. Perflualkyl and polyflualkyl substances are known as PFAS. PFAS can be found in diverse products, including nonstick pans, cosmetics, firefighting foams, polymers used to insulate an anode and cathode of EV lithium-ion batteries. So I'm assuming it's going to be pretty much those, like I said, those nodes or mods in the EV batteries. I'm assuming that they're going to be using this kind of, or they are using this kind of polymer to isolate those modules. Modules, yeah. In the battery itself as a whole. Bosenberg said suppliers to other auto companies have started cataloging PFAS used throughout their supply chains in response to a new EPA rule. But it is complicated, but it is a complicated undertaking. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time talking. It goes to say, just to finish it out here, it goes, they're trying to understand how much PFAS is actually in the supply chain, especially those that get a lot of components from tier 2 or tier 3 companies. So basically, they're trying to figure out how, I mean, this is an impossible research. I feel like we're throwing a lot of money away, and this is a good way to just basically scrape the cream off of the top. So basically, we're trying to figure out how many of these chemicals are in existence on planet Earth, period, to begin with. So good luck with that. I mean, how much has been buried? How much, you know what I mean? You can, if you want to record how much is being made moving forward from a certain date, you could do that. But I mean, as far as to go back and say how much is in the existence of the Earth, period, good luck. Good luck, man. I'm going to keep going with the article. This one's a little lengthy, but we're probably about halfway through. It says, they really don't know, he said. You don't say. Adding that the extent of the issue has been humbling. Humbling? Humbling's not even the word, man. I mean, impossible is be a little bit more accurate. It says, okay, for automotive uses, PFAS are found in many automotive applications, including O-rings, that is used in gasoline-powered engines and in proton exchange membranes used in hydrogen fuel cell vehicles. So, rubbers and plastics. Isn't that pretty much every car from the 90s moving forward? I mean, this is unreal, man. This seems like a cash grab or a sneaky way to hide some funds. It just something don't seem right here. This seems a little bit too stupid on the face of it to actually have something a multi-billion-dollar company would be doing. But maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe, you know, whatever. Hey. We are not, goes on to say, we not only have to meet performance requirements, but we also have to meet safety requirements. I told you. He said, when someone buys a car, they expect it to last. Okay. So, yeah. So, we're virtue signaling. I mean, when someone buys a car, they expect it to last. That's kind of an open-ended statement. Like, what do you expect it to last as? I just, this whole thing seems a little fishy. It goes on to say, MEMA is advocating for regulators to apply PFAS rules. So you're going to apply rules to use these polymers or plastics or whatever. You're going to have special permits. Money, red tape everywhere. Such as reporting the chemicals with more limited scope, in quotations, he said. The group is part of a coalition with the Alliance for Automotive Innovation and other associations outside the automotive industry. In a letter to the EPA in 2021, when the rule was proposed, that group said that while it supports collecting information for PFAS exposure and the creation of good public policy, in quotation, on the topic, the EPA's information collection program is, quotations, needlessly burdensome. Needlessly burdensome. Because it requires, in more quotations, an enormous investment of resources by the thousands of companies across the industries. Okay, so basically we're trying to achieve the impossible here. Okay. Yes. Bosenberg said lawmakers have generally been open to the MEMA pitch, but at least on the surface, there's an understanding of the scope of the issue. Yeah, this has been an issue for decades. They've been carrying on for it for, man, since I've been a kid. And then when we explained that you can't make a lithium ion battery without this stuff, it really starts to resonate, Bosenberg said. So, it goes on to say, we'll finish it up here, the link to cancer. The EPA has a tough job ahead to get PFAS under control. So these plastics, I don't know what they're going to use moving forward, but it says the chemicals are pervasive in the country. I'm sorry. A U.S. Geological Survey study in July estimated that around half of the nation's tap water has PFAS in it. And the Centers of Disease Controls and Prevention has found that most Americans have PFAS in their blood. Yeah. I mean, this has been common knowledge for eons. The EPA has linked, let me see here. The EPA has linked exposures of high levels of PFAS to increased risks of prostate, kidney, and testicular cancers, decreased fertility, higher blood pressures in pregnant women, and interference of the body's natural hormones, reduced ability to fight infections, and developmental delays in children. Well, how much of this is true, I don't know, but if it is, there's quite a few of those that are pretty serious. I'm not going to lie. It goes on to say drinking water contaminated with PFAS is plagued in communities across this country for too long. Yeah. EPA Administrator Michael Reagan said in a statement on Wednesday that quotations, that is why President Biden has made tackling PFAS a top priority, comma, investing historic resources to address these harmful chemicals and protect communities nationwide. Yep. How much of that is virtue signaling? I'm going to leave that up to you. That's going to be your decision. It's going to be up to you. But, sorry, take a drink there. Yeah. That's not for me to decide, but it's definitely something for you to take notice on. This last paragraph says the massive undertaking. There are thousands of types of PFAS produced in all sorts of industries for different purposes. The EPA is tasked with collecting information on the chemical substances made for commercial purposes, including PFAS, and has moved to collect information from companies that produce them. Yeah. Wow. This is gonna be a big task they're taking on here, but I don't think it's gonna be anything that's gonna be possible anytime soon. I don't know why we're talking about this now. Maybe because this is an election year. Maybe, I don't know. Driving Collect TJ says, hello, sorry for bothering you. I wanted to offer you promotion of your channel, your viewers. And the price is lower than any competitor of, flexible and, told you. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop, man. So, it does not quit. But no. As far as me and the way I run my channel, I'm not going to be selling your information. I'm not asking you for any, you know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that. It's not worth it. I mean, everybody does that anymore, and it gets you pretty much nowhere. Everybody's kind of bombarded with junk mail. Everybody's bombarded with all this crap, and kind of want to have a place where everybody can just come and hang out and help each other with factual information, and so that's pretty much pretty much the government and everybody, but GM is hopping on this bandwagon with as far as like funding, going after these chemicals that we need to pull out of the lithium ion batteries. But the misuse of the bailout money is just, it's a runaway train, man. It's a runaway train. Yeah. Just keep up with the good information. You will be fine. Yeah. I mean, that's really it. There's a lot of stuff that flies under the radar. It goes unnoticed, and they do publish it, and not everybody can read everything or be exposed to everything or know everything. But I just think it's a good idea to actually hop on here and have a good place to freaking put it in the public eye, put it in perspective. And if I read something, which I think, because $300 for a subscription a year is a lot of money. I mean, if you're talking $9.99 a month, whatever, but $300 a year, that kind of puts it into another realm. And if I can bring some good information to you guys, bingo. So basically, we got bailout money coming in. They've got lump sums. GM from the 2008, and I'm not saying Mary Bear had anything to do with this in the past, but out of the, I believe, the $40 billion they got out from the last bailout, I believe that they paid like $20 billion back. Haven't seen a penny since. We're getting another bailout. Here we go again. And then they just announced this morning, let me see here. Yeah, they're going to move their headquarters. Now, I will say this. here's the GM plans. I will say this, that they are having a meeting today at 4:30. So here in about 4 hours, Mary Bear is going to be giving, she's going to be taking on an interview with the, I can't remember which news it is. It does say in the article, I'll probably read it off here, but for whatever reason, they're moving this 1.5 million square foot headquarters. It's not even to a different state. It's not to anywhere geographically advantaged of any way. There's got to be some reason, but it's down the freaking street, literally down the street. So, yeah, I don't get it, but let me make sure we're in here. Yeah. GM plans to move headquarters from Renton to the new skyscrapers in downtown Detroit. I'm sure it has to do with some kind of tax. They're getting some kind of tax break or some kind of billions and billions of free money just for doing it. But it says General Motors is planning to move the downtown Detroit headquarters up Woodward Avenue to the Hudson building in a new 1.5 million square foot project being developed by billionaire Dan Gilbert. It says for GM, the deal makes the auto manufacturer a long-term fixture in the revival of Detroit's downtown, which Gilbert has been spearheading by acquiring and developing 45 major office, retail, hospitality properties, and it also gives Gilbert an anchor tenant for the office portion of the $1.4 billion building. So that would be, I don't understand this, because if they're just down the street, what does it matter? I mean, I guess if they're not in that specific development, they're not, maybe they're getting a giant kickback. I don't know, but this seems like a huge waste of money, especially in a bad time where the automotive market is really suffering right now with the with the Fed having increased short-term interest rates. God, I don't get it. It says GM CEO Mary Barra and Gilbert are hosting a press conference at 4:30. Yeah, it doesn't say. There's a short little here, I'll just read it to you guys. It says relocating the new building means GM will leave behind the space at the Renaissance Center and Office Tower, the automaker's longtime headquarters. The Associated Press reported to the automaker and real estate giant plan to study how to redevelop GM's Renaissance Center headquarters. So pretty much how they're going to piece it up. Citing a person briefed on the plans who requested we want to be anonymous. The source said that the plan does not involve the sale of the complex. Really? A defining part of Detroit's skyline. Yes. I can see it. It says Gilbert, he's the renovator of the new. It says Gilbert has previously held conversations with GM about purchasing the Renaissance Center prior to the pandemic. Okay, so this has been a long time coming. Although discussions never resulted in a deal, the Renaissance Center, the region's largest office complex, has suffered during the pandemic. I don't know. $1.4 billion can go a long way for doing renovations. So the Hudson's site last week got its official name and officially topped out its tower. It will be the second tallest building in Detroit behind the Renaissance Center. So, okay. That's pretty much wrapping up the bad news, I think. I think it's kind of a bad way to use that much money, but yeah. Government, yes. Mike, what's up, bud? Yes, Government Motors. Yeah, I mean, if you go in the GM Authority, you can pretty much at the bottom of every article, you can almost feel the tension through the clientele, through the customers, through Nobody's won the EV. They're pushing it as hard as they can. Yeah, it's just they're every day it's something new as far as coming up with these automated driving. They're coming up with these automated driving buses. That'll be freaking scary. Not a fan, man. Not a fan. But get to the good part. The Corvette ZR1. Now that the Camaro is out of production, we ain't got a Camaro. It's gonna be our silver lining. It's something's better than nothing, right? I like optimism. I like to be happy, and I like to end things on a positive note. So the ZR1, I'm kind of happy. I'm happy to say it's looking like they dropped a hint. It's going to be 5.5 flat plane crank, twin turbo, no hybrid. So I read an article a while back that said that right now, I believe right now, as we speak, they've sent the car off to Germany to run the ring, the Nürburgring. And they're going to see what they can get the car down to as far as time. I don't know. I've heard speculation as far as like 7:05. They want a sub 7-minute car, but I don't know. It might be able to do it. It might be able to do it. I don't know. This thing is speculated to be 850 horsepower. Don't hold me to it. But we're months away from finding out. So let's get into the article here. Boom. Make sure. Okay, yes. StreamYard's doing some weird things where it's putting me up and then taking me down. Okay, so it says the column, what does unthinkable mean for the Corvette ZR1? It says, in a teaser video for the ZR1, it uses the word unthinkable to describe the aspect of the car. Unthinkable. That word is intriguing applied to the Corvette. Let's try to unpack what the word unthinkable in quotations could mean. If we take Chevrolet at its word, unthinkable should mean that the ZR1 is more than just another fast Corvette. The fastest Corvette today is the E-Ray, can hit 60 miles an hour in just 2.5 seconds. According to Chevrolet, and confirmed by the car and driver, shaving a few tenths off that time is not unthinkable. I don't know, that's pretty good. It's expected for the car that is likely going to be the most expensive model in the lineup. Shocker. It goes on to say, as far as top speeds, the Z06 maxes out at 195. The ZR1, if the ZR1, hits 200 miles an hour or even 225, that is not unthinkable. Really? Okay. Again, it would be expected in a car will very likely to have a 6-figure price tag. Yeah, guaranteed. What might be unthinkable is if the ZR1 could hit 0 to 60 in, say, 2 seconds flat, achieve a top speed in excess of 200 miles per hour, crush every supercar's performance stats on the in Germany's Nürburgring, and sell for a bargain price. I don't know if 6 figures is a bargain price. In the grand scheme of things, it is. You look at McLaren, Ferrari. I mean, pretty much the average starting price of those is like 300, 350. I mean, somewhere in that. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of freaking money. If Chevrolet can beat the performance of Ferrari, Lamborghini, and McLaren for around half the price, of the established exotics, that would be unthinkable. It would, in fact, be astonishing, but would also be keeping the Corvette's amazing value. Yeah, and that's what Corvette's been known for. It says right here that the Stingray starts out at $71,690. And, coming out of the pandemic and everything, that's really not that bad because, what was at launching, it was $59,900, $60,000. So over the years, through the time, look at all the models they've lost, pretty much all the money that they've spent making the EVs. So to have a $10,000, $11,000 price hike for a starting MSRP, that's really not that bad. But if they can do that with their flagship model, just stomping supercar, just dominating in supercar territory, that would be amazing. I don't see it happening for $150,000, but I could be wrong. I would say, it goes on to say, I would say more than 2 seats fall into the realm of unthinkably. But if you view the teaser video closely, the ZR1 shown between the 12 and 13 second mark is clearly a car. What the fuck? So it is not rumored to be a Corvette. Oh, okay, yeah. It's not to be rumored Corvette SUV, which we were talking about on Saturday night. Yet. So they talked about the Corvette coming back in addition to the lineup, what it was rumored as a SUV, an electric SUV. Yeah, that was a couple years ago, but I'm so happy that got put on the back burner. Let's not even, let's forget about that shit. An electric powertrain in the Corvette qualifies as unthinkable or horrible would be the word I would use. An electric powertrain could deliver truly shocking performance numbers into sports cars, but after 60, it's dead. So what's the point, right? But there's an exhaust note in the teaser of, so pretty much we're going on a redundant information. Unless that sound is fake, the ZR1 won't be electric. My guess is that the 1 in ZR1 name is key to the unthinkable, in quotes, this time. 1 is going to have something, or is going to have some actual meaning. I think the car's rumored twin-turbo V8 will be rated at an even 1,000 horsepower. That's crazy. That's insane, but it's very, very possible. The 5.5 is in the grand scheme of things, 5.5 liters for a flat plane crank is huge. It's massive. It's the biggest, I think, in a production car that we have to date. So it really wouldn't take that much to push it to 4-digit horsepowers. That would be amazing. I mean, think about it. We got the Demon 170. Camaro has been doing it for years. I think since, if you go back, whatever model has like 850 wheel horsepower, so maybe even into the 5th gen, we've had 1,000 horsepower Camaros available factory right off the showroom with a warranty. So, I mean, it's been done before, just not by GM themselves. So it'll be really cool if they can crack that. There are a number of supercars already with the 1,000 horsepower or even more. Even Dodge got over that milestone marker with the Challenger. And when you think about how horsepower has steadily climbed in the Corvette, with the mild 150 of the triple carb Blue Flame 6 in the 1953 debut Corvette to 670 horsepower. 670 horsepower in today's Z06. 1,000 horsepower would be obscene, but totally fitting way to end the car's internal combustion. Oh, crap. Sorry, guys. Just talking. Yeah. So, yeah, man, that sucks. I don't know if they're talking. God dang. I don't know if they're talking getting rid of. Oh, man. That's awful. So I'm assuming C9 could be all electric. I don't see it happening. This is more of that scare tactic, I think, in order to scare us. Welcome aboard, sir. First day on the job? Yeah. Don't worry. You got time to lean, you got time to clean, baby. Welcome, Mr. Noob. Yeah, so basically what I'm getting is the end of ice. 1 second, guys. God dang. I didn't want to have a coughing fit on cam. So yeah, it looks like we're going to be getting, I don't know. We're going to be getting everything and nothing all at once, is what it sounds like. So there could be a big bomb coming this summer. We're going to be getting 1,000 horsepower and then take it away. So, yeah, I want to thank everybody for coming in. I will, like I said, I'm going to be trying to do these things for a month. This is pretty much everything which I found today. There's a lot more information out there I'm going to be digging. So pretty much, I'm in the Central Standard Time every day at noon. I'm going to be logging on here, be hopping on for about an hour or so, however long it takes. You guys want to talk about anything, hit me up, drop it in. We'll hash it up. Otherwise, I'll be covering whatever's hot in the news. I appreciate you guys for hanging out. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video on your way out, and we'll be talking to you guys tomorrow. We'll see you guys.